Good afternoon. My name is Lisa Kavanagh. I lead the practices here at MicroStrategies, helping to strategize on ways to work with organizations to drive business outcomes with them. And I'm joined here with Adam Storch. Adam, would you just give us a few words about yourself?
Sure. My name is Adam Storch. Of course, I run the business process and content services practice here at MicroStrategies, which is really around document content management, business process automation, and document capture.
So Adam, today I really wanted to focus on a conversation around how you engage with your customers. So I know when you engage with your customers, you spend a lot of time really in ways that we can solution with them to be able, like I said, to solve some business problems. And you're always approaching it from how do we solution with them. But I know that there's always some core technologies that you integrate into those solutions. And I know Box is one of them. Can you share some of the problems that you're solving for customers and how you use these tools, how you apply these tools in those solutions that you design for customers?
Sure. So Box, obviously, one of the key ones for us, and that's where the productivity suite comes into play. And this is something we've put together really to solve different problems that users have in their day-to-day lives. The productivity suite provides users with the ability to report on documents, their ability to compare due documents when they're in negotiation. They can track the life cycle of a document, as well as be able to annotate documents. So different pieces we put together talking to clients, it helps solve key business problems.
So with those four major components, what are some of the types of things? So is it a matter of if they have specific attributes on their documents that they would need to then be able to leverage in what they do every single day, or explain that, how the attributes of the document, or the metadata, as you would call it, really comes into play?
Yeah, I mean, and basically the document lifecycle reporting tool is all about dealing with that metadata, right? So things like expiration dates. I need to know what contracts are expiring in the next 30 days. I need to know what contracts are renewing. I need to know what the status is of a contract when it's in play. And one of the key pieces of the productivity suite is that document lifecycle reporting tool, and allows people to find documents easily, track what's going on, and report on them. So they've got the ability to see things easier too, know what's going on. That's a key thing.
And what are some of the ways that organizations have really, obviously being able to find documents more easily is always helpful, but when they're really struggling in the impacts, I guess, in some situations that COVID has had and their standard, operating procedures, what are ways that you are really seeing them apply this in potentially in ways that they may not have used it in the past?
Sure. I mean, one of the big things with the document lifecycle reporting tool is, remember I talked about the expiration. A lot of time clients would ask somebody else to go look at this and go look at that, because everybody's remote now. They can't do that. They've got to do it themselves, got to get it done quickly. And because of this tool being so intuitive, easy to use, people of all different levels are now accessing these documents. So before, you might see a certain level of user, if you will, doing that search or telling somebody else to do it for them. Now you've got users of all levels of sophistication, let's just say, being able to access these documents quickly and easily. And that's what COVID has done. It's required people to be a little more empowered. And what the DLR does is empower them.
Well, I think too, when you're in the organization, when you're in the office, you're able to work together and collaborate, to your point. If you have a question about something, but now it's like, I'm kind of at my home, I got to find this. So I'm less apt to maybe reach out to somebody and ask. So I think the value of a tool that makes it easy to search for things you may need when you're kind of more on your own, then you can just kind of lean over to your, one of your office coworkers and ask some of the questions.
And another example is one of the pieces in the productivity suite is the annotation tool. So when you're at the office and there's a scanner or a copier all over the place, you can grab your document, scribble all over it, run over to your copier, go off and scan it, and send it off. Not everybody has a copier and scanner at their home office these days. So, the annotation tool gives them the ability to do all that annotation right within Box. So they don't need anything fancy, nothing crazy installed on their desktop. They simply, right from their Box, they can do all the annotations they want. That's become a really big one, because people took for granted the idea of just, scribbling stuff, running to the copier, making a copy of it, and sending it off to somebody. So another example of where that's really helped people on the COVID side, the remote people.
Right, or even just sometimes making their notes and leave it on somebody's desk or shove it under their door, where you can't do at this point anymore.
Absolutely. And then the other two components, you look at that document comparison thing, same thing, right? You've got that capability right there of comparing two documents, two versions, stuff that, again, people use, as you said, somebody likes to do it by hand,
Hmm.
that capability is not there. It's not easy for them now when you're remote. And we try to empower the users. That's what the productivity suite does. It empowers a lot of different levels of users to do things in a much more automatic or automated and online fashion.
So Adam, for some of the customers that you've shared this tool with and that they've adopted it, have they given you any types of feedback on some of the value that they've experienced firsthand from the tool?
Yeah, and we've gotten some fun feedback. I've gotten some feedback where, some people at certain levels have gotten half of their day back because their boss is now just searching themselves. So they're kind of excited about that. So that's always a fun one to talk about. The annotation tool becomes funny because now people are a lot more descriptive. So they're really excited because they're more focused when they're annotating because they know it's going to be shared. So when you're scribbling on your little piece of paper, you're not as focused. Now when they're doing it, they're a little more focused and the annotation becoming more valuable. So stuff,
Mhm.
it's not state-of-the-art stuff we're doing. Stuff's been around, but the way we've exposed it to users and the world of COVID that called people to work remote has really jumped it up a notch in terms of value proposition.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we take for granted, and I don't think we actually even uh, put a value to the fact that how long
Mhm.
it takes us to find stuff. And I think
Yeah.
as more and more stuff is that mix between the digital world and the tactile world of things, it's just it does take a long time to be able
Yep.
to find that stuff. And I think that there's really not, it may not be the sexiest thing in the world, but it's valuable because of the time it's spent. I mean, what do we all want back is time, so it
You
gives
know,
you the time back to be able to help you find things that are very critical to do what you need
But,
to do every
but we
day.
love the fact it doesn't have to be sexy. If it's simple, it's unassuming, it gets the job done, you're done for the day, go be with your family. So
Exactly.
the things about being able to do things like annotations, we're not going to end up on the cover of Wired magazine, but because they can get that done in 3 minutes, they're off doing something else that much quicker.
Right.
So being able to be integrated into their process and making it easier, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? It's really a matter of making it easier and get them going to the next thing.
That sounds great. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for organizations to continue to adopt it, and I'm excited for all the time we're going to get back.
Yeah, no,
Any,
it's very cool, and everybody watch it. Like I said, there's videos of all of these things, so you get a lot more exciting. We get a lot deeper with the other videos on the website that dive into each one of the solutions we've spoken about. So
that's
pretty
a
cool stuff.
that's a great point. So if people want to learn more about it, there's videos on the website for them to be able to see, what exactly it can do and get the demo.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Any closing points, Adam?
No, like I said, I mean it's really cool to pull these things together, and they're driven by clients. We didn't come out of this out of thin air. All right, these are all driven by clients, businesses we've worked with. That's how these things came about. So if you're not using it, you really should check them out.
Thanks so much, Adam.
Thanks, Lisa.